The Taiwan Series begins on Saturday, November 27th. The first summer league to start its season way back in March will be the last to end its season, with the series going into December. So if you haven't been keeping up on the CPBL, now's the time to follow along. The MLB season is long gone. KBO ended last week. NPB will be over this weekend. Winter League postseasons don't start for another month. Early December belongs to the CPBL. The reason for the season going so late is that from May to July the league had to shut down because of COVID. They usually take a week off at mid-season for the All-Star break. This year they took 2 months. But everything is fine now and there are full crowds at the stadiums. I try to keep up with the CPBL the best that I can. I watch on CPBL TV as often as possible, but I am by no means an expert. I consider myself a fan of the league, but NPB and KBO get priority in the summer. So to any of you out there who know the league more than I do, if you think I've left something important out, please mention it in the comments. The CTBC Brothers and Uni-Lions will be meeting in a rematch of last year's Taiwan Series. The Lions won that one in an exciting series that went to 7 games. The Brothers are in the Taiwan Series for the 7th time in the last 8 years, but they have not won it since 2010. This is the 6th time these two teams are facing each other in the championship series. Let's take a look at how these teams got here. The Brothers won the first half of the season by a somewhat comfortable margin, 2.5 games over the second-place Lions. In the second half, it came down to the final week, but the Lions hung on to win it by a half game, punching their ticket to the final series. The other 3 teams were not close. We definitely have the best 2 teams in the CPBL in the Taiwan Series. If you followed the CPBL last year, you'll remember the exact same thing happened. Brothers won the first half, almost won the second half too, but the Lions came away with it. But there's one big difference between last year and this year. Last year, the Lions were strictly a hitting team in the first half with bad pitching, and they had a losing record, finishing nowhere near the first-place Brothers. Then at mid-season, they got some new pitchers that helped transform the Lions into a first-place team. This year, they were good from start to finish in both hitting and pitching. The Lions and Brothers met 30 times this year. Brothers won 17, Lions won 11, and there were 2 ties. But in the second half, they split the series at 7 apiece with 1 tie. The Lions had the lowest team ERA at 3.27 and the lowest WHIP, 1.25. One of the pitchers they picked up at mid-season last year was Brock DeShorn, and he leads the rotation this year. He made 26 starts, 181 innings, a league-leading 17 wins, 4 losses, and the second lowest ERA at 1.83, WHIP 0.89. Brothers' team ERA was 3.66, ranking in the middle of the league, second lowest WHIP behind the Lions, and they issued the fewest walks. Jose DePaula is the team's ace, the league's ERA leader at 1.77, 16 wins, 4 losses, 0.99 WHIP in 25 starts, 178 innings. DeShorn and DePaula are by far the top 2 starting pitchers in the CPBL, and this will make a great head-to-head matchup for the Taiwan Series. I would give the slight edge to DePaula, but it's really close. Both teams have really effective closers too. The Brothers have C.C. Lee. In 53 appearances, he recorded 24 saves with only 4 blown saves, ERA 2.42, WHIP 1.02. But here the Lions definitely have the advantage. Lions closer Yun-Wen Chen made 52 appearances, led the league with 32 saves and only 4 blown saves, ERA 1.53, WHIP 1.11. The rest of the Lions rotation is good. Tim Melville 8-7, ERA 3.74. 21-year-old Rui Yang-Gu-Lin 8-6, ERA 3.15. Felix Dubrant 7-3, ERA 3.42. Luis Alberto Bonilla, he came late in the season but looks good so far. 4 starts, record of 2-2, ERA 3.13. As for the Brothers, they've got Kai Wen Cheng, he was 12-7, ERA 4.08. Yen Ching Lu was 2-3, ERA 4.60 in just 11 starts. It looks like the Lions have the better pitching. However, 2 recent arrivals to the Brothers' pitching staff could close the gap. Jose Valdez has made only 4 appearances, 2 starts and 2 in relief, ERA 2.45. Sean Moramondo arrived at the same time. He's also made 2 relief appearances and 2 starts, ERA 5.68. That sounds really bad, but it's mostly due to one awful start he had last week. We haven't seen enough from Valdez and Moramondo to predict how they'll perform in this series. If they come through, it could even things up, but with what we know now, I'll have to say the Lions have the edge in pitching. Hitting looks even when you look at the team stats for the season. Lions have the Brothers beat in runs scored from 538 to 531, but the Brothers have the Lions beat in team batting, team on-base percentage, team slugging, hits, and walks, all of them by a small margin. However, when you look at the second half only, the Lions were ahead in all of those categories, except for walks. And the one category in which the Lions dominate is stolen bases. They led the league with 139 steals. The Brothers only stole 83. Some of the Brothers' best hitters: infielder Wei Chen Wang, a 323 batter with a 368 on-base percentage, 21 steals, and a league-leading 159 hits. Outfielder Tsu Hao Chen had a 388 on-base percentage with 14 home runs. Third baseman Chi Hung Shu had a 368 on base and 14 homers. Chen and Shu were tied for 3rd in the CPBL in home runs. They were also tied for 2nd with 68 RBI each. For the Lions, Chien Chen, 325 batting average was second best in the league, on-base percentage 399, and he had 22 steals. 21-year-old second baseman Ching Kai Lin, 303 average, 330 on base, and 23 steals. Ang Ku Lin /302, 395, 473, 17 steals, and was number 2 in the CPBL with 16 home runs. Brothers will have home field advantage, but they were actually a little better on the road this year. The Lions had the best home record of any team, but had a losing record on the road, including the second half. The Brothers can win this if they get good performances on the mound from the two new guys, and most importantly, when DePaula is on the mound. That is very important because the Lions come out ahead when you look at both hitting and pitching, especially in the recent months. They cannot afford to lose when their ace is on the mound. As a Brothers fan, I want to see them get their first title in over a decade, but all signs seem to be pointing to a Lions repeat. I think it'll be really close. The two teams were only separated by a half game in the second half standings, and they split their second half meetings at 7 apiece. So I'll say it goes a full 7 games with the Lions winning it once again. That's what I think. Let me know what you think down in the comments. That's all for this one, and until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya.